Thank you. I'm not a politician or a public speaker, so if I stumble on my words, please forgive me. In December of 2004, our daughter Chelsea, I'd like you to stand up so everybody can see you, please. At that time, Chelsea was 15 and she was a sophomore and she was attending Penn Harris Madison High School. And it's typical in our family that our children come home every day and they tell us what happened in their day at school. Chelsea came home that day and she was physically upset that something happened. She asked my husband and I to talk with her. She asked us what OCD and social anxiety disorder were, because she had absolutely no idea. Assuming at that time that Chelsea might be working on a school project, my husband and I explained to her to the best of our knowledge what these two conditions were. We'd ask her when we were done if she was indeed working on a school project. What happened is Chelsea told us that the people at school had told her that she was mentally ill with these two conditions based off of a computer test that took her 10 minutes to answer. My husband and I were never asked if our daughter could participate in this survey, nor were the other 750 children that were given this psychological evaluation at Penn Harris Madison's parents asked. We contacted the school and we contacted the mental health organization and asked them why they felt that they could screen our daughter for psychological condition without our permission. We really didn't get anywhere. They didn't want to give us a straight answer, and to this day, 2 years later, we're still waiting for that straight answer. We had asked Chelsea, after we obtained a copy of the teen screen test, the questions that she had answered, why she was flagged as being mentally ill. Now, I want you to listen very carefully, because I don't think there's any teenager or any parent in this room that would possibly have answered any one of these questions different. One of the questions was worded, if Chelsea went out a lot. She answered no. We'd ask her why she answered that way. She said, because Mom, you and Dad don't allow us to go out on school nights. I have to be home to do my homework and take care of our household chores. The other question was, do you ever feel nervous or anxious when you're in front of a group of your friends or peers? Chelsea answered yes. She explained to us that because when she has to stand up in front of a group of people and give a book report in one of her classes, she's very nervous. You know, I'm 43 years old and I'm nervous in front of every one of you today, but that doesn't make me mentally ill. Another question was there anything that she's ever done over and over again that she wished she could stop? She answered yes. Her reason behind that question was because it is expected of her from our home, as from her father, that when she completes her homework, that she has to clean her room and do her household chores or she's going to lose privileges. That doesn't make her mentally ill. That makes her responsible to her family and herself. Now keep in mind, these surveys that are sweeping across our nation that have been given to thousands of children do not allow our children a reason why they're answering particular questions a certain way. In 2003, this test was conducted at Penn Harris Madison School with written parental consent. That year, only 9 students out of 750 plus in the sophomore class took the survey. But because of a low participation level, and we just found this out this year, the mental health organization approached our school and said, we don't have enough of the kids doing this. So let's do what we call passive permission. And if they pass this bill in Indiana, that's what they're going to do, passive permission. They will not require you as the parent of these children to give your authorization for these children to be screened. The year that Chelsea took this survey, 750 plus children took that test. It was reported from the Columbia University, the organization that first started the teen screen survey, that over 30% of the children that take the teen screen test have a diagnosed mental illness. I don't know about you guys, but I find that absolutely ridiculous. The Centers for Disease Control only report between a 5 and 6% of the general population, including from birth till death, that people have a mental health diagnosed condition. How could 30% of our children nationwide be mentally ill? I don't think as parents we're doing anything wrong. Just by you being here shows that you're supportive parents, and we would definitely notice if there was something wrong with our children. Not the government, not the mental health organization. There's big money in this. Absolute big money. If your child is forced into going for a treatment in a mental health organization, it's going to cost the taxpayers, your insurance company, and it's going to drive your premiums up. And that's not the worst of it. These children are going to be put on psychotropic drugs. Ritalin, some of the other ones, there are chemists out there who have done massive studies that this Ritalin has nothing more than cocaine in it. It's doing the same thing to these children that cocaine does to addicts. There are children as young as 3 years old that are being placed on Ritalin because they're saying they have attention deficit disorder. When my children were 3 years old, I was lucky if I could get a full sentence out of their mouth. How can we actually be saying that these children are mentally ill if they can't even communicate with us? This issue that's at hand is our constitutional right as their parents to control what is happening with our children. It's what we see fit, not the government. These types of mental health programs that are sweeping across the nation will only remove our parental rights. But it's also going to tap into the educational dollars that are very limited for our children right now. They will take other programs, music, arts, gym class from our children to fund these programs. Right now is the time that we as parents must stand together and protect our children and their future, and most importantly, their lives. We're the last line of defense for these children against an overreaching bureaucratic government, the mental health and pharmaceutical industries. Today, each one of you have a choice. The choice to stand with Eric Miller, his family, Jackie, her family, and mine, in protecting the rights of our children, the families in Indiana. And not only the families in Indiana, but if we band together, we can send a message nationwide to every other politician across the United States, and there is a grassroots movement, and I am part of that, and I encourage every one of you to participate in that, to stop this. Because as Jackie said, there are children that are being pulled from homes because of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa.